I just turned 50 and I thought I'm old enough now to start a YouTube channel because I like creating things and I am very lonely when I create things. So I don't want to be lonely anymore. So I thought I'll start a channel and look for people that like what I do and me that like me. Follow for more tips. So to start off, I made a calendar. So I'm going to show you part of the process of me making a calendar. Hi, it's me again. Thanks for coming to my first video. So I made a calendar, as I said already, and it is a Cactus of the Month calendar. Why cactus? I really don't know, except that earlier this year, I learned that I love cactus. Before that, I didn't really care about them. And then the algorithm decided to start showing me all these pretty pictures of cactus in my Pinterest, and I could not turn away. And I suddenly had to draw them. And I found that I had so much fun just playing around with cactus shapes and the pots they're in and the flowers they produce, that I really started to appreciate the beauty that is in the cacti family. And then I thought it would make a great calendar because I've actually been wanting to design a calendar for the past couple of years. I love wall calendars. Every year, the first day of the year, one of my favorite things to do, honestly, is I sit down with my brand spanking new calendar and I go through and I write down all the significant dates that I want to remember, like birthdays, anniversaries, and even death days. And there's something about it that is just so peaceful, and it feels like it gets my head in the right space to just move about the year, I guess. But I wasn't sure that there was going to be enough of a variety of cacti to fill, 12 months in a year. I was wrong. I actually asked ChatGPT to create a list of 12 different cactus for me for each month, and it did. And then I asked it again for different ones, and I got a completely different list. I had no idea there were so many different forms and varieties of cacti. Like, for instance, this one that I'm doing right now. This is for the month of October. It's literally called a ghost cactus. I had no idea this existed. It's the cutest little cactus, and it's white, and it looks like a ghost. How perfect is that? Everything I do, every project, every piece of art, whether it's, stays as a drawing or a painting or whatever, or turns into something three-dimensional, will always start in my sketchbook just to get the shapes down and the movement. I want it to be fun. These are all my artistic representation of a cactus, so they're not exact replicas. They're more of like the flavor, the flair, the nuance, the essence of the cactus. And that's really what I want to come through in my art. I just want it to be fun. I want it to make you smile and feel happy. I literally had so much fun doing these. So now I'm refining. I have the the basic form and the shadow where the light is hitting. I want, that's important to me, so I know which side the shadow is on for the cactus and the drawing. There's the final piece. And then I brought it into Procreate, and this is where I turn it into a digital piece of art. One of the things that I love about working in my sketchbook first is I love those little lines that you get when you sketch. It just adds character, and I love that. So one of the things that I was struggling at first with when I started doing digital art was I felt like it was lifeless a little bit for me. So now you'll see at the end, I like to add back in those messy lines because it's something that I like to see personally. I think it adds character. I already said that, but I'm saying it again. It adds character. And one of the things that I love about digital art is how quickly and cleanly you can actually color in big chunks of the piece at a time. I decided to put a pink background in this before I started to color in the cactus because, as you remember, it's a ghost cactus, so it's white, and I wanted to be able to see what I was doing. So even though it's white, I do think it's actually a super, super light green, and I wanted the green to be represented in there too for the cactus. And so it's a little bit more cohesive with the other cacti that are in the other months of the calendar. And it actually just added more depth, and it allowed the shadow, I think, to be more visible. A little shout out to that beaded spider over there on the left of the screen. That's my little friend. I made it a couple years ago for Halloween, and it seemed appropriate to have it sit there and watch me create a little ghost cactus. One of my favorite moments in the digital art making process is when you add the shadows and the highlights. That's when it really starts to feel like it comes to life for me. You know, it adds the depth and the life and the light and the dark. And here's where I start adding back in those messy lines. You'll see that I'm not like super careful with how my hand is moving. I actually intentionally make it messier than I normally would do just because I like it. I like the whimsy and the movement that it gives. Okay, you see those little pink tips? All I kept thinking about was Pennywise when I put those in. And I put those in because if you look at a ghost cactus, some of them have, like their tips have a pink tinge. So I thought I would do that to add more color to it for this particular piece. And all I could see was Pennywise, and it was making me laugh. Tell me you guys see it too. Here I am playing around with the color for the outlining of the ghost cactus. I was having trouble finding a color that you could see that wasn't like muddy or yucky. So I had to take a moment to play with the hue and the saturation until I finally found one that I liked, and I felt like it was cohesive and it went with the piece. Here I am just smoothing out some of those highlight lines. They just felt way too harsh to me, and I wanted to just add a little softness. There was my head, and there I am smoothing out the Pennywise hair too, because it felt harsh. I wanted it to be kind of a subtle transition into a little evil clown. And here I am just kind of playing around with some extra lines, seeing if I liked it, seeing if it gave it a little bit more depth. I think I actually end up taking those green ones away. I didn't love it. Didn't feel like it added anything, but I think, yeah, it's going to come up here. I'm going to add a little, like, I don't know. I kind of view this as like a decay or just a patina on the pot, if you will. I felt like it was appropriate for October, for the month of October. Have a little decay on the pot. We just pop the background color in. I do a few finishing touches off camera, and then we're going to see how it looks in the final result. I'm actually really happy with how it came out. I do include the full and new moon in each month of my calendar, which you can find in my Etsy shop, and I will put the link in the description. Okay, thanks. Bye.